Welcome back, everybody. So, welcome to part number 2 of our SKS restoration. If you haven't seen part 1, the purpose of this series of videos will be to restore this SKS here back to its original state. 10 round box magazines, wooden stock, bayonet, kind of stuff I absolutely love. So today we're going to be talking about fitting this SKS stock. Now, this is a Chinese Norinco import type 56 SKS. It's an Arsenal 0412, not a 421, 0412. It's not one of the more popular Arsenal 26s. It is a little harder to date. Best guess, if I had to guess, I would guess the rifle's between 74 and 80s, but 74 is electro penciled on the barrel, so who knows? You know what I mean? So let me go ahead and show you what we're going to run into today. This stock is beautiful, Type 56 stock, but our problem is this retainer right here. Well, it's hitting on the bottom of our barrel, so we're going to have to fit that. What we're going to do, and purists, I want to apologize ahead of time, is we're going to be taking a Dremel in here, and I'm not even going to pull this screw out, this cross bolt. We're going to put a Dremel in here, and we're going to just take a little bit of the metal off of this cross bolt so that the bottom of our barrel can sit flush and the stock can fit, or excuse me, the receiver and barrel assembly can fit in the stock tight, not loose, not too tight, but we'll see how close we can get it to looking perfect. Alright, so I've got my Dremel out and been getting at it for a few minutes, and I got just a hair more. Alright, so we've taken some material off of it. Let's get some of this dust off of here. It's not going to be pretty. And is there a better way to do this? Oh, I'm sure, absolutely. So let's see what we're looking like. So we have a little gap, rather tight. Let me get my screwdriver, and what I'll do is I'll rotate this cross bolt, and we'll see if we can't find that sweet spot where it allows our stock to drop down just a little more and get that pin off of that barrel. So that's raising it.
The new 93Q with Leah next from South Houston. Sister, you're almost done.
All right.
Monday. How are you?
So I've still got about, I can make it fit, but I don't want to force it. I don't want the stock to be too tight. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit more off. That way it can drop down just about 1/4 of an inch, maybe half of that, and we will get a good fit. Alright, now that we have the stock fitted, now that we have the stock fitted, you can see it fits almost completely flush. It would still take a little bit of pressure to get it to sit absolutely flush. Show you what's going on in here. Now, I have seen people completely remove this retaining pin and basically fill it with a wooden dowel. I have seen people grind on it. The reason we're grinding on it today is because, well, we're impatient. We have multiple different options we could choose, but it's going to look ugly. Be prepared. Alright, so I've grinded on that crossbar a little bit, and what we'll do now is clean it up with some denatured alcohol or something, let it dry, hit it with some cold blue, blew it up, wash it off, steel wool it, and that will be our new crossbar pin. Now if you mess this up, or if you just want to remove the pin and you lose it, you can find these pins on quite a few different retailers of old surplus parts. So now we have the stock installed. Just so happens whenever I do put a little pressure on it, I can turn this retaining pin, and who knows, don't ask me how I did it, and it locks our stock in place. It's like I said, it is a tight fit, and I mean there's just the slightest little gap there. Once we put our lower trigger group on, should pull everything together. This receiver fits very nicely in the stock. I mean there's, if I can get rid of that and hold my cleaner rod, I mean there's no wiggle other than our cheap bipod and our cleaning rod. So pretty proud with that. Let's keep going, see if we can't get our handguard fitted. Now we'll work on removing the old plastic top handguard off of our gas tube. Alright, so what we're going to do is take our gas tube. I've got my pen. Take our hammer. Alright, now as you can see, this is where our pin, make sure I put it in the right way. This is where our pin was at. Knock the pin out of our gas tube, and we'll be able to remove this little retainer and slide this 1990s plastic off. Now these parts, well, they fit, man, who knows, right? So there might be fitting. Yep, going to be fitting. These parts were bought from Norinco gun parts. Good company to deal with. They had fast shipping. It was the first time I think it's the first time I'd ever purchased anything from them. So what we're going to begin doing is lightly sanding our handguard. It looks like all I have to do is take off a little from the bottom, and we will shape them up to fit our gas tube and our retainer. Here we go. So we've been working on this handguard for a minute or two now. You can see I've taken a little material off around that edge, and then a little material off this front edge right here. And we're just trying to fit everything up nice and tight. Slide this on. So we got this side nice and tight, but we might have to take a little more off. Yeah, we'll have to take a little more off right there to lower this just a little bit. Got it to fit, but I need it to sit flatter. Actually, let me see if I got it on backwards. This handguard kind of has a taper to it, so it might be, you know, directional, but we'll find out. Let's see. That's going to be the way we need it to line up. At least that looks the best anyways. Try it the other way again real quick. See how it looks this way. I don't know, it just kind of seems like it has a little bit of a taper to it. I think it's just my illusion. I really think it's the grain in the wood that's giving me the illusion that it's got a taper. Because it's measuring up equal. Hard to tell. It's gotta have a taper. It's late at night. I'm pretty tired, so my eyes are not the best. Let's see. All right, we'll keep working on it. I've been using the Dremel here. If you do not have a Dremel, you are missing out. Love the thing. I think this one is the 3000. I had the 200 or the, might have a piece of paper. Yeah, I had the Dremel 200. Man, that thing, it wasn't that good. I ended up killing it. But I don't know if I put too much of a load on it for too long a period of time or what, but it eventually committed Dremel death. Alright, so we've got just a little bit more to go, but we'll get there slowly but surely, taking off just a little bit of material at a time. That way, you know what to say, you can take it off, you can't put it back on, so let's keep working. Well, after about 20 minutes of sanding, taking my time, I'm going to use my hole punch as kind of a guide rod, and we have finally got it. Now I had to do quite some boogering up. Luckily, we've got an assortment of crazy finishes, and we can fix that up no problem. I did just about 90% of my work with this Dremel. God, I love the thing. Flattening edges, I used some 80 grit sandpaper, but everything looks good now. So let me go ahead and throw some finish on this real quick, and then tomorrow we'll put it together and never have to worry about it again. So I just grabbed one of the little cans from the bottom and just put a little stain on it, just so that way you don't see any contrast when the just dip the napkin in there. I work smart. I usually don't work too hard. Go ahead and see if we can't wipe this little guy off with a clean napkin. That way we get all the wood fibers out of there. We don't want anything attracting moisture down the road. .2 points. Make sure you know what? I missed a little spot. Now it doesn't have to be a perfect match, just something to fill in the grain. You could always go back later, and heck, you could refinish it if you wanted to, but this Handguard came in so nice that I'm not going to refinish it, especially the stock. I like the character that is on it. I'm a fan of the character. If you've seen my other videos, I think I mentioned that a few times. Alright, use my little guide rod here. Oh yeah. I'll find my pen. Take my gloves off for this. Yeah, I really need to call it a night because I am tired. I don't want to rush any of my work. Everyone knows how that goes. You start getting a little tired and start rushing. Find me a little better stirrability. Bigger punch. A little more airy on that thing. There she goes. All right. So she is back in there. Now for the moment of truth. Let's see if she fits on. Rather be tighter than looser. Am I right? Gotta hammer it in just a tidbit more. Pretty smooth. All right, so tight fit, to say the least, but I'd rather have it tight than loose, am I right? Too much. I'm just kind of giving it a little motivation. Alright. Once I shoot this quite a few times, everything will start tightening, loosening up, fitting itself. Alright. Looks good. Get this piston back in here. Good lock up. Alright, what else do we have tonight? What else can we do? Man, we're starting to look like a rifle, huh? Go ahead and take a look at it. Start getting some parts back on. squiggly end first. I'm gonna get some of this dust off. I will eventually, tomorrow, the next day, go back through all this stuff and get it oiled back up, just because I have no idea what's on my hands. We're out here touching everything tonight. There's wood dust everywhere. Alright, we got that locked. We got our gas tube locked up. Boy, that feels excellent. Happy, if I do say so myself. Clean off my workbench real quick. Let's go ahead and glue that cross bolt before I forget about it. I've just got some Birchwood Casey's perma blue. I've used this on a lot of little jobs and it's been great. I've wiped that down with alcohol and I'll just take a dab of the perma blue on my napkin here. Get in here and just get that stuff on this cross bolt. Now, I'll cut for a minute and run, and I'll wait about 60 seconds and run and go rinse that under some cold water, dry it, and that's all I'm going to do for it. You can see it, how it's slowly starting to blue up. Might have to do 2 coats on it. Maybe not. We'll find out. Alright guys, it's starting to look like a rifle. Y'all come back for part number 3 and we'll start looking into the 10 round box mag and bayonet install. Y'all have a good one.